Now we will look at the weak verbs and we'll study the three forms under the present, past and participle. So we are going to look at list of weak verbs. Weak verbs. That's what we are going to do now. Weak verbs, and we're going to look at the present, past and participle. Okay? Now, let's see in B, we have, I am putting it under different letters so that you can look at and we can learn easily. Now, bend. Okay? The word is bend. You bend, no? You bend down, you bend. Bend. In the past, it will say, you will change bend. Now, when you talk about the weak verbs, what should we remember? In the weak verb, we say we form the past tense. How do we form the past tense? By adding ed, d and t to the present. So we are forming here, we are talking about the weak verbs. In the weak verbs, how do we form the past? We form the past by adding, remember, to the past, add, to the past, to the past, add, what do we add? Ed, t, and d. These three things we must remember. Okay, now when we talk about the weak verbs, the past tense is formed by adding ed, t. Bend ends in d, but in the past we have the t you saw. Bend, and in the past participle, how is it formed? Again it is bend. So for the weak verbs, the ending, look at the ending. Strong verb inside the vowel change. That's all you need to remember. Okay. Beseech. Beseech. You go and ask a person. You beseech a person. Besought. The besought. Besought. Beseech. Besought. Again H. We added T. And again in the past participle also besought. Beseech, besought, besought. Bleed. Bleed. When you fall, you hurt yourself, blood comes. So we say bleed. And what happens in the end? Bled. Bleed, bled. Bleed, bled. You are double E, here you have only one E. Bleed, bled. In the past participle also bled. Bleed, bled. Then we have breed. Breed. What breed is your cow or your dog? They will ask you. Breed. Breed, bread. And again the past participle, bread only. Breed, bread. Then we have bring. You bring something, brought, brought. Past and past participle same. Bring. You bring something, brought, brought. Brought and again brought, same. Another word we have here is build. You're given some building block, the baby sit and build. Past, built, T is formed. Okay, so build, And what happened? The end, it became T. T. Built, again built. What do we have to remember in the weak verbs? To form the past tense, you add ed, t and d to the present. Next you have burn. You burn yourself. Burn, and then to get the past you add t. Burnt. N and you add t. Burnt. And for the, or you also can say burnt, and here past participle also burnt. But you can also say for the burn, you can also say burnt. Ed, you can also write burnt, and again here burnt. So for the burn you can say burnt, burnt. You can also say ed, burnt and burnt. Okay, then buy. You buy something. Buy. You can say you buy. You bought. Buy, bought, and also for the past participle also bought. Okay. We are looking at here the weak verbs. To form the past and past participle, we add ed, t or d to the present. Now we have here bend, bent, bent. Beseech, besought, besought. Bleed, bled, bled. Breathe, bread, bread. Bring, brought, brought. Build, built, built. Burn, burnt, burnt. Burn, burned, burned. Both are correct. Buy, bought and bought. And we have more to look at. Weak verbs. How do we get the past? By adding ed, t and d to the present tense. Then you get the weak verbs. We'll do some more. We have lots more to look at.